The sentence that ends your career is almost never the one you think it is. It is not a bad report or a missed deadline, it is something you said on a Tuesday, half listening to yourself, to someone you half trusted, about something you barely cared about. You will forget you said it by Friday, but the person who heard it will not, and months later in a room you will never sit in, a softened, sharpened version of that sentence will be doing the damage your actual work could never undo. Welcome to Marcus versus the Machine. The rule underneath all office communication is simple: the second a sentence leaves your mouth, it stops being yours and belongs to office politics. You do not own the meaning, you do not own the tone, and you do not own who gets to hear it. Today, we are decoding 5 things you must never share with coworkers, and exactly how the corporate machine converts your vulnerability into leverage. Number 1 is your job search plans. It usually slips out as a sigh, or you mention you are updating your resume just to see what is out there. It feels like venting, and venting feels like bonding, but what you actually just did was erase yourself from the future of the building while your body is still in it. The coworker tells one person, that person mentions it casually to a team lead, and nothing happens. That is the whole trick. Nothing happens, you just stop being in the conversations about next quarter, the stretch project goes to someone else, and your name quietly falls off the succession slide. A job search hinted at too early is a resignation letter written in invisible ink. Number 2 is financial desperation. You mention rent went up, your car died, or that you are one bad month from disaster. You say it because admitting it feels like solidarity, but what actually happens is that the people around you start seeing you differently. You stop being a peer with options and become a person with a price tag. Managers do not need to be cruel to use this, they only need to remember it the next time they decide how hard to push you, how small an offer you will accept, or how late you will stay. Need shows, and when it shows, it gets used. People who look like they can walk away get treated like people you have to keep, while people who look trapped get treated like people you can squeeze. Number 3 is your real opinion of management. This is the most expensive thing you can say at work, even though it feels like the safest because frustration with leadership is the social glue of every team on earth. You share exactly what you think about the director who cannot make a decision, and everyone nods. What you do not see is which of them is angling for a role that depends on being trusted upstairs. Your comment does not get reported as a betrayal, it just gets mentioned. From that point on, things shift on you in ways you cannot name, your messages get slower replies, your idea shows up in the recap with someone else's name next to it, and the explanation is always about timing or bandwidth. It is never about the sentence, but it is always about the sentence. Number 4 is mental health struggles shared in the wrong place. The cultural message is that openness heals, but the workplace is almost never the right context. You tell a coworker you have been struggling because you need one person to understand why you have been quiet, but what you actually did was install a lens in their mind that they will look at you through for the next 2 years. A bad day becomes a symptom, a disagreement becomes instability, and a request for space becomes something to document. The worst version is the manager who stops giving you hard work, tells themselves it is kindness, and in the process strips away the exact assignments that would have earned your next promotion. You told them you were struggling, and they heard you say you were fragile. Finally, number 5, exit dreams and side plans. You share the business you want to start or the novel you are writing at night because excitement wants a witness. What the listener hears is that you are already partly gone. Here is the cruel mechanism nobody warns you about: your boss does not get angry, your boss gets relieved. You have quietly given them permission to stop feeling guilty about the decisions they were already considering making. You become the coworker whose absence is already half rehearsed, and inevitability is the strongest force in any org chart. People hand these pieces of themselves over because work is lonely, and they confuse someone laughing at their joke with someone being on their side. But the workplace is a sorting machine, and every sentence you give it is one more data point it gets to use however it wants. Before you speak, ask yourself one question: if the stripped down, context-free, tone-free version of your sentence travels through rooms you will never enter, is it one you can survive? If the answer is no, the sentence does not get spoken. Be human, be likable, and be the person others want in the room, but stop handing the system the pieces of yourself it was built to use against you. Stay sharp.